Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk, the thinker right out here in the lab. I do what I do for you. I got something continuation from the first lesson, so let's get it started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tuning and receiving them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thinking, mission, and that's what I want, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself with the lessons that I give you on a daily basis. You tune in, receive them, employ them, use them, and manifest for yourself the knowledge of self. Self knowledge is the best knowledge. That's what I give. Let's go. Know thyself is the question, and the answer should be an affirmative. A person who knows not, excuse me, I ask the question, if you don't have the answer, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, that's fine. Tune in. That's what I do for you. I got you. I'm going to teach you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them from a spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right think, know thyself. And to my be true. We're going, this is the second lesson of my essential elements of spiritual discipline for life, aka self-mastery, or real simple, right thinking philosophy, life lessons. Let's go. We ended up with cause and effect. After that, we're going to go on into the next one is called on moodiness and depression. Those two things go hand in hand. Again, depending on the mood, if it's good, you're up. If it's down, you're depressed. Let's talk about that lesson right quick. In order to change your mind or your mental state, which is the same thing, what you have to do, change your vibration. What the hell are you talking about? To destroy what? An undesirable rate of mental vibration, negative thoughts, bad thinking. I got a buddy who said he called it positive thinking. I agree, 100%. Positive thinking is blocking out the negative vibrational thoughts. That's how you destroy those. Why? You concentrate on what? The opposite vibration to the one to be suppressed. If you're negative, you think positive. If it's bad, you think good. Simple. Always find the good in the situations in life. That's what the concept is. Okay? The concept, excuse me. What is the source of sadness? But feebleness of the mind, yeah, just not thinking right and get caught up in situations, or they call them now entanglements, stuff that you brought on yourself. Married man with side chick, you ain't ever gonna be comfortable. You always gonna be agitated, worrying about when the next shoe gonna drop, and that's stress. And most black men die early life because of the stress that they carried for years, had that on the side thing going, and you just wear yourself out. That's the concept of a feeble mind. What gives it power? I can tell you, but the want of reason. So rouse yourself to the combat. If you're having negative thoughts, if you're having thoughts of doing wrong things, you got to combat that with positive and good thoughts to not do those things and then be responsible for that action. After a while, I shouldn't have done it. Too late. Too late. Understand that. So, and what it does, and it quiets the feel before you strike. Calm yourself. Think about what it is you're about to do. If it's good, fine. If it's not good, you should make that decision before you do it, not after. That's all. Monday morning quarterbacks ain't never won a game. So if you want to deal with a situation after the fact, never good. Prevention is the way to go. Moving on. Right now, okay, perfect. Here we go. Good segue. I like this. Right action. That's you doing what's right every chance you get. My favorite, misconnect yoga. This is what they call, India, they call it karma yoga. Why? Because you're responsible for your actions. That's karma. You reap what you sow. At Judgment Day, everything you did is stored here, not here. And when karma comes to bring you all the stuff that you got, your heart, here you go, this is yours. You got to realize, and they teach you, hopefully at an early age, you're responsible for your actions. So understand that. That's why I want to teach young people the concept of God. If you teach them how to live right, and they be rewarded from somebody other than their parents or teachers, no, nature take care of you. They would do, they would be better people. Why? When we figure that out, we become better people. Simple. Right action, Maya misconnect. It all talked about karma yoga. What you mean by that? First of all, be industrious. Let thy eyes be open, lest thou become what? A beggar. If you don't make good decisions, and your observation and your discernment in life don't do well, you don't use it, you will end up ass out begging. Simple as that. All those guys on the street, decisions they made in life, put them there. So understand that. Why don't you give to them? I got nothing to do with me. For the man that is idle, we know that the idle mind is the devil workshop, cometh not honor. If you're not thinking about nothing, if you're comfortable in your miserable state or situation, you're not an honorable person. You're not a good person. Simple. Watch this. If your mind and divine speech are used as meant, what happened? You will not differ from the immortals in any way. If what they say don't match what they do, they're lying. The immortals and our ancestors want us to be balanced, want us to be righteous, want us to do good. Why? They smile down and they reward you for that. It's called blessings. Those who get blessed, it's something they're doing to get the blessing. And those who understand that will continue to do that. I'm one of them. Those who haphazardly happen, they figure out, well, if I do this, I get that. They're deal makers. They don't get it. Okay? Watch this. Now, the way to gain what? Good reputation is to what? Endeavor to be what you desire to appear. I'm not a phony person. I am who I am. I present myself. This is who I am. This is how I am. Take it or leave it. I'm not trying to impress nobody. Teach you? Yeah. I'm not in you? Yeah. Impress you? No. So moving on. Seek to what? Perform your duties to your highest ability. This way, what? Your actions will be blameless. If you give your best effort and you lose, there's no dishonor in losing when you're giving your best. The person who's better than you. In competition, that happens. I have never cried over a loss of any. No, because it's a competition. My man taught me that. Yeah, losers cry for losers. Losers cry. I ain't never cried about no loss. I took out to learn a lesson. Okay, I could have done this better. I might have done that. Whatever, but I'm not going to that nonsense. And I played for a team that we didn't win but one game. So it was a whole lot of bad feelings week after week. Okay, but moving on. In life, if things aren't going the way you want, you got to make that change for yourself. Situations you can't control. You in those situations, yes, the idea to get better at that. That's self-mastery. Moving on. There is no life for what? The soul except in what? Knowing, and no salvation but doing. Give thyself to God, serve your higher self, and keep thyself what? Daily for who? God. And what? Let tomorrow be as today. I love that. I live that. That's how it's done. Learning it, that's good. Yeah. Understand it, that's even better. But once you employ it and use it, oh, it makes a world of difference. That's why. So moving on. Listening. We all know somebody who got a problem listening. When you're talking to them, they're just waiting for you to finish talking so they can say what they want to say, and they expect you to listen to what them while they're talking, but they don't give you an ear of nothing while you're talking to them. That's conversational disrespect. I try to let people know it's so annoying. Watch this. The lips of wisdom are closed. What you mean? Oh, to what? Except to the ears of understanding. You got two things you can do. Two ways. The brain got two hemispheres. You got two sides. Duality. Again, that's another lesson. But when you are subjective, that means anything that comes into you subjects itself to your likings. It have to be what you like, what you comprehend, what you so. You are a subjective listener. You only listen to hear what you want to hear, what you like. If you was objective, you would be an attentive listener. You hear to hear what's being said. That's the art of listening. So understand this. So it tells you the lips of wisdom is closed to those subjective people. And except to the ears that's understanding, that's the objective people who really listen, excuse me. So watch this. So they who hear, watch this, are what? Beloved of God. Hearing creates what? Goodwill. Hearing what? The voice of Father, Mother, God requires what? You ready? Silence and stillness of the body and of the mind. God tell you what? Still yourself. When you go into the state of meditation, you're giving up yourself to your higher self. Now you communing with God. He ain't out there. He ain't up in the damn sky. He's in you. So when you go into that meditative state, you're still in yourself, you're still in your mind, and you're giving him time to do what it is he do. Communicate with you. Sorry about that. I just I get. But hearing the words of God, in here, not out there. Hearing the words of prudence. Give heed unto what? His counsels. And what? Store them in thy heart. Here, maxims are universal advice. Let conscience be your guide. And watch this. All the virtues, lean upon them. Do the right thing for the right reason, and you won't have a problem. That's clear. Watch this. And she is the guide of the mistress of human life. There's something inside you, intuitive knowledge, that once you tap into it, once you become one with your higher self, you have access to all of that, aka the Akashic records, or knowing all, having the ability to be able to comprehend, grasp what's being said, what's being done, especially what's going on around you. That's what's important. Moving on. Now, here's one that I have struggled with. On forgiveness. I am vindictive. I'm very vengeful. Okay. But I will do it in a way that I'm satisfied. Okay. If I unleash wrath on you, I'm going to come at you, and I'm going to continue to come until I get satisfied with what I'm trying to get done for you. So I'm not a forgiving person, but let's talk about forgiveness. I'm learning. I'm not perfect. I'm still work in progress. So this is one of the things I'm still working on. Okay, so let's go. If you're angered by a misdeed, and when people do something wrong to you, that's what happens. Then you have to lean toward a man on account of what his rightness. If you're treating me right, I'm with you. If you got my best interests at heart, we good. If you do me wrong, there's going to be a problem. And I always felt that way. Why? Because I hate feeling like I've been taken advantage of. I don't like that. I don't like to be played or used. So that's all. So a misdeed is you're using me and playing me. But then your discernment got a kick on. So that don't happen too often. Excuse me. Pass over the misdeed. This is what we're talking about forgiveness. Watch this. Pass over the misdeed and don't remember it since what? Since God was silent to you when? On the first day of your misdeed. When you're told something, and when you're told, you hear it, you can't argue it, it makes sense. You don't have to debate or argue the truth or stuff that's on point that makes sense. You gotta say, I get it. That's listening. That's another art that if you don't listen, you'll never get the point that people are trying to get across to you. So it's important to do that. Okay? So, and we all know none of us perfect. So we seek it, watch this, thy revenge. I sure do, by any means necessary. But mine was okay. My personal thing with my dad was just in competition. We was competitive like that. So we play Scrabble. Okay? My game, competitive. I'm at work, he at home, going through the Scrabble book all day, coming up with words. So simple. I started practicing, going over my words while I was at work. So long story short, you prepare. If you're going to do battle, prepare yourself. That's all. Moving on. This concept of forgiveness. When somebody's doing something better than you, don't get mad at them. Get better at you. Moving on. So without purpose, watch this. Is it that thou pursuest it for no real set reason? Thinketh thou what? To pain thine adversary, excuse me, by it. Meaning the person who did you wrong, you really are fixated on getting back at them. But watch this. Know that thou thyself feeleth its greatest torment. When you get back at somebody, you probably gonna feel worse than you was before you did it. So I get that concept. Sometimes you feel, why did I do that? Too late. After you do it, you punch him aside the head. Yeah, why did so understand that? So before you get there, you try to refrain. Be always, watch this. Be always more ready to what? Forgive than to return in retaliation or cause injury. I would like to physically hurt some people, but you have to digress. They who watch for what? An opportunity to revenge, lieth, watch this, and waste against themselves. Yeah, and draw down what? Mischief on their own head. I was hell bent on a certain concept, and I had to deal with that until I really put it to the rest by exercising my right. So forgiveness ain't easy for those who ain't big on forgiveness. So I'm learning again, work in progress. But the root of revenge is what? Is the weakness of the individual. Why? The ego. Again, that ego don't want to be disrespected. And the most abject, watch this, most abject and timorous are the most addicted to it. Those who are just angry for no reason, they love no more than just get revenge because they feel like the world done something to them, so they just mad with everybody and they love to just act revenge on any and everybody they can. We know people like that, so it's okay. But watch this. One cannot force another to go beyond their capability, excuse me. If your elevator only go to the 10th floor, I can't expect you to go to the 12th. Read them on their level, understand them for who they are. You're not going to change people. Stop with that nonsense. But you have to learn to forgive. I'm getting better. Now, in doing that, it goes right to the next one, nonviolence. Whoever set this up knew what they were talking about and knew what they were doing. I'm just going through the motions with you, breaking it down for you. I learned this a long time ago. And the more important part, I lived this, so to me it's like going back home and having second nature. But this is fun. Nonviolence. For the projects from the streets of the north, I am violent. Ain't ain't none of that, no. I tell my pastor, bro, if you slap my face, we fighting. Nah, brother, right turn. No, my man, I'm not turning the cheek. I'm Peter. Why? I'm gonna smite him. I'm not taking it. So I'm still dealing with the nonviolence thing. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, here you go. If you meet a dispute, a despondent, who is what? More powerful than you. That's a bigger guy. You ready to fight? See, if a little guy, big guy, hold up, wait a minute. Let's talk about this. So violence ain't the way to go when they're bigger than you. Watch this. So you fold your arms and you bend back. Okay? Confrontation will not make them agree with you. So the physical altercation ain't always the right way to go. So disregard what their evil speech. So the word they said, sticks and stones break my bone, words can't hurt me. You yourself, what control will match their evil utterance. When you stand composed and keep control when somebody ranting and rant like the fool, when you don't feel on the fire to get them more rant, just let them rant themselves out till they just blow themselves out. They get tired, okay? You can't argue by yourself. So when they go on that tear, you let them go and watch this. You won't match their evil utterance, and people will call them ignoramus. What? They seeing them wild out. You stand there chilling, cool, and they just acting a fool. So people see that. That's why when you choose the non-violence concept, that's what you do. You let the other person make a fool of themselves. Next one is on change. Change is lower of the universe. The zodiac, time constantly changes. It ain't understand. Still, everything is moving. So change is imminent. Okay, imminent is always happening. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. So change is constant. Now, the idea of being the readiness to grow spiritually. When you decide that you're going to go into spiritual development, you have to be ready for your spiritual growth. Why? There's going to be some things that you're going to have to do yourself. Watch this. When the ears of the student are ready to hear, when you make that decision, watch this, then come the lips to fulfill them with what? Wisdom. That's my job. When the student is ready, right thinkers, the master will appear. Every morning, all you gotta do is tune in, and I'm here. Okay, that's what I do for you. Those who understand, and there's a few y'all, man, I appreciate you. Okay, 1,500 y'all, or believe will be what? Will be persecuted and ridiculed for what? Them following a different concept, a different philosophy that average person see as crazy. If people around you don't think you're crazy, you ain't doing right, thinking right. Why? They're going to look at you strange. And they should. Why? Because you're going to change. Again, which is imminent. The lips of a what? The wise are as what? The doors of a cabinet. No sooner are they open, but treasures are poured out before you. If you're a student right thinker, all you want to do is hear what I got to say. Why? Because I'm giving you information that you can use. That's why. Like unto what? Trees of gold arranged in beds of silver are wise sentences uttered in due season. When you're ready, I'm here. Whatever. That's on you. Now let's talk quickly about the double nature of human beings. Humankind is a soul animal that is what? Twofold. One part is simple, the human essential, as say the what? The Greeks say, but which we call the form of the divine similitude. Humankind is also fourfold, that which the Greeks call helic, Hylic, which we call cosmic. Yeah, we're part of the cosmic universe. They understood it their way. Egyptians did it their way. Indians did it their way. Hindu. Everybody had a way to they worship and thought about God. So it's a concept, and everybody had their own, which is free. It's the work that you put in that you receive. You'll find out if you're doing it right or not. Why? If you're getting blessed, you're doing it right. If not, you're doing something wrong. Simple. Moving on. Let me get this out the way. Here you go. So, twain are the forms of what? Food for the soul and the body, of which all animals consist. Some are nourished with what? With the twofold form, while others with a single. Their soul is nourished by what? The ever restless motion of the cosmos. Their bodies have their growth from the food that they draw upon from the water and the earth of the what? Of the inferior world, which is earth. You need more food other than this. Nourish you. So you need the cosmos. You need the spirits. God, here you go. God have made humankind of what? Soul and body. And that is what? Of an eternal and a mortal nature. We're spiritual beings, meaning our spirit is immortal. We're having a human experience. The human body is going to expire. And if the concept that we had, the ego, you messed up with the concept, you think that you're the body. So when the body dies, you think you die. It's the concept, you got to get above that. That's why becoming conscious means you have to be smarter to realize certain things. Being ignorant meaning you just don't know. Don't mean nothing else. Ignorance means not to know. So watch this. So that an animal, watch this, thus blended can what? Can content the dual origin, admire and worship things in heaven, and cultivate and govern things where? On earth. For it is plain that humankind could not have sustained the stain of what? Both, unless formed out of both nature, so as to be able to what? Possess the powers of cultivating earthly things and loving heaven. Being spiritual, meaning you understand the higher self. Moving on. Balance and harmony. Oh, you okay? We about to hit that next lesson. Balance and harmony. Harmony is two things working again. I ain't got to do that. I can read it. Harmony is the union of opposites. Two things come together for the good. Everything has duality. That's what Maya represents. That's why you see me doing this. She represents the scale. That represents balance. Meaning using both sides of the brain. The brain, one side operates this, one side operates that. You put them together and you operate the complete package. Some of us, well, I'm a man, I got to think like a man. No, you got some feminine thoughts there. You can use that to understand women. That's what it's for. Not to act like a woman. Women, you got to think like a man. It's okay to think like a man, but you ain't got to act like a man. See where I'm going with this? So let's talk about balance and harmony. In all thy understanding, in all thy undertaking, let a reasonable assurance animate thy endeavors. If thy despair of success, thou shalt not succeed. You are what you think. If you think negative, you will act negative. You think positive, you think right, you will act right, you will be right, and you will do the right thing. That's the difference in the mindset. Everything flows flows out and in. Everything has its what? Tide. The tide flows what? Twice in 24 hours. It comes in, it goes out. It comes in, it goes out. Twice in 24 hours. Look at the Masonic order. All things what? Rise and fall. The pendulum swinging, manifests in everything. The measure of the swing. And it don't mean the thing if it ain't got that swing. That do that. Yeah, my man count. But the swing of the right is the measure to the same as the left. Rhythm correspondence. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? What's going on below? What's going on below? That's a fact. Let's go now with talking. Something I do a lot of. Hopefully useful. But let's talk about talking. On talking. Speak not much, for men are what? Deaf to what? To the man of many words. I mean, if you start, that's why I cut my lesson down, looking at the clock. I can only hold your attention for so long. I get it, I understand that, but I'm just trying to teach a concept. So roll with me. I'll be done in a few. Be silent rather than shout, thou please. Therefore, speak not. Knowing when to speak is important by talking. Before all things, guard what? Thy speech. For a man ruin lies in his tongue. It's double-edged sword. The body is a storehouse full of what? All manner of answers. Choose therefore the right one and speak well, and let the wrong answers what? Remain in prison where? In thy body. Keep it to yourself. I don't give you wrong, bad information. There's no use for that, so I don't give it. Malign, watch this. Malign others is adhered by the cop. It just ain't good to treat people or say bad things about people. If you want them kind of people, then your spirit, your body, you got little problems. Watch this. Words cannot give wisdom if what? If they stray from the truth. I don't teach nothing that I believe. I teach what I know, what I perceive to be, what I know it to be. Other than that, I keep it to myself. Don't repeat slander, nor should you even listen to it. I don't do the social circle. Why? I hear too much stuff that I could care less about. I'm not nosy, so I don't care what this guy doing. I don't care what he ain't doing or what she ain't doing. That's none of my business. Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me. All that listening to he said, she said, who shut John is the waste of your time. I don't indulge. Now it is sporting of what? The hot belly. Just report a thing. What's this? Just report a thing that has been what? Observed. I can tell you what I see. I ain't got to be, no, I can tell you what I see. That's what they're saying. And not something that has been what? Heard secondhand. If I didn't see it, if it's something negligible, don't even say anything. If I see my buddies, people, I got nothing to do with that. Okay, don't threaten me. I'm not a rat. I'm not snitching on nobody, him or her. So don't put me in the middle. He who, watch this, he who is standing before you will recognize your worth when you do what's right. As long as you do that, you got a problem. See, I don't play sides. I don't play favorites. I'm balanced. Again, by that. If you're among the people, gain your supporters by how? By building trust. Just being honest and be a real dude. The trust, what's this? The trusted are those who do not speak. First, think to come to mind. Think whatever comes to their mind. Speak not the side of your face, just popping off at the mouth. Watch this. And they will become leaders. When you don't show ignorance, arrogance, conceit, and other nonsensical qualities in most people, people will tend to look at you a little different and respect you and maybe follow you. If people of means have good name and their face is benign, people will what? Will praise them, even without their knowledge. Those whose hearts obey their bellies, watch this, whoever asks for contempt instead of love, their hearts are naked. Their bodies are unanointed. That means them and God ain't got nothing in common. The great-hearted are what? Are a gift from God. When you have a good heart, and most people with good hearts are the people everybody take advantage of until they what? They become wise and recognize the good for the bad, the needy from the greedy. Okay? But those who are ruled by their what? Appetites belong to the enemy. That's the physical body. That's the enemy of the higher self. The spiritual body proceed not to speak or to act before they has what? Weighed thy words and examine the tendency of what? Every step thou shalt take. So shall disgrace fly from you, and in thy house shall shame be a stranger. When you got everything in order, you treat and doing things right, your house is in order, so to speak. Is your house in order? Repentance shall not visit you. Why? You haven't done nothing wrong. Again, you reap what you sow. Now, sorrow dwell upon what? Thy cheek in this or many lives what? To come. Put on what? The bridle of thy tongue on thy tongue. Set a guard before thy lips, lest the words of thine own mouth destroy thy peace. On much speaking cometh repentance, but in silence is safety. We won't know how ignorant you are until what? You open your mouth. Sometimes silence is golden. And those are times when it is, that's going to be an endless lesson. I got more for you, but I see the time is running. So, again, imparting right thinkers, may you let it be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinkers like you and passed away. I'll be back.